Good day. The following video depicts Expert Field Medical Badge Evacuation Task Number 5, Establish a Helicopter Landing Point Standardization Training. The training consists of the task grader providing task instruction to a group of EFMB candidates for the first time. Please note that uniforms depicted during standardization training differ from those required during testing by the EFMB Test Control Office.
So this is EVAC 5 HLZ. My name is Enloe. So for tasks to establish a helicopter landing point. Conditions: you're a leader in a unit that is expected to inbound with EVAC series aircraft. Expecting an inbound UH-60 series aircraft, you must establish a landing point. You have a landing site and marking material to mark the landing site with, which will include only chem lights. I know it says strobe lights, flashlights, engineer tape. We have just chem lights. Your standards are to secure the landing site. Select a suitable landing point for the UH-60 series aircraft to land and take off without exposing it to risk. Prepare the landing site and mark the landing site and touchdown point. Complete all performance measures within 5 minutes. That is more than enough time. So your performance steps and measures are: you're going to establish security for the landing site, select a landing point. Select a landing point large enough for the UH-60 series aircraft. The landing zone must be at least 50 meters in diameter. Ensure the ground slope is safe for landing. When the ground slope is less than 7 degrees, the helicopter must land upslope. When the ground is 7 to 15 degrees, it's side slope. 15 degrees or more, it's a no land zone. Right, they can't land on that. Ensure the landing point has sufficient clearance for approach and departure. For this, these trees are non-existent. Alright, so you don't have to worry about that. Ensure the ground is firm enough the helicopter does not become mired or stuck during loading or unloading. If the firm ground cannot be found, issue the pilot an advisory. If necessary, the pilot can hover during loading and unloading. Ensure the landing site will provide adequate security. Landing site should offer some security from enemy observation and direct fire. Good landing sites will allow the helicopter to land and depart without exposing it to unneeded risks. Void areas, sorry, my apologies. Security is normally established around the entire landing site. Avoid areas which may cause the pilot to lose visual contact with the ground, such as dusty, sandy, or snow-covered surfaces. Preparing the landing site, you're going to remove all loose debris from the landing site. Clear the entire landing point of any loose material that rotors could blow up. Rotor wash throws up any loose dirt, sand, brownout, or snow whiteout. This can obscure the ground and other aircraft, especially at night. If a site must be used with obscuring conditions, the helicopter must be advised of the conditions. You can cut down on dust by wetting down dry dirt. Snow should be reduced to ensure there are no hazards, and then packed down firmly, which will also reduce the amount blowing around. Excuse me. Identify all obstacles within the landing site. An obstacle is an object that is 18 inches or more in height, width, or depth. If applicable, clearly mark unmovable obstructions, obstacles, and advise the pilot. Remove all obstacles such as stumps and rocks if possible. Fill in all holes if possible. The pilot's night vision goggles have filter lenses that do not allow them to see blue or green chem lights. So, unfortunately, 3 of mine are blue. Please do not crack my chem lights. Just put them on the ground. You're marking your landing site with an inverted Y composed of 4 lights. So for this, my recommendation when you're doing your landing, your inverted Y, take your first one. When you find your center, your landing point, drop it down. Okay, it'll be a quick reference point for your center. You're going to walk 7 meters. Each step will be a meter. You don't have to exaggerate your steps trying to find a full meter. Just 1, 2 through 7, right? Drop your 1 down. Come back to your center. Same thing, 7 meters. Drop your chem light. Go back to your center, grab your center chem light. You're gonna come down 14 meters. All right, so 1, 2 through 14. Drop your third one. Then it's 7 more meters. So 7 meters. Boom. That's your inverted Y. All right. It's not hard. It doesn't have to be exactly straight, but it needs to be at least 14 meters wide from the top, 14 meters down, and 7 meters from the first of the tail to the end of the tail. All right. You use strobe lights, chem lights, flashlights. We're using chem lights to mark the landing site. Then after that's been done, all your debris, everything like that has been cleared. Ground's been found firm. Security's been set in. You've picked everything out of the way. Got your site secured, set up. You're gonna come back and talk to the pilot. So you're gonna inform the pilot of 5 main things, right? You're gonna let them know that security's been established. The ground is firm to land. The method of marking, so which is inverted Y with any color but blue or green. So just normally people have been saying red. So red chem lights. You're gonna let them know about the slope. So 7 degrees or less, you're gonna let them know that you need to land upslope, right? 7 to 15 side slope. 15 or more, they cannot land. And then all loose debris, obstacles have been removed and out of the way. Right, so I'll demonstrate out there. Before we go out, does anybody have any questions? Security site. I'm going to establish security out. I prefer at least 100 meters because your landing zone is 50, right? I'm going to find my center of my landing zone. So I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to drop my first one. I'm going to come 7 meters out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Drop the chem light. Come back to my center. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Drop the chem light. Come back to center of my landing zone. Grab this one. Come 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Drop my chem light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is my inverted Y. Alright, so I've got my Y set. I'm gonna ensure that my landing ground is firm. I'm gonna check. Right, got a good clear solid ground. I see one main obstacle. I'm gonna remove this obstacle. So it looks to me less than 7 degrees. But now that I've ensured I've looked, there's no loose dirt, dust, debris, I'm gonna go talk to the pilot. So when I call the pilot, you don't have to go with the whole, hey you, this is me. My apologies. So I'm telling the pilot, I've got security established. My method of marking is an inverted Y with red chem lights. You're gonna land upslope, it's less than 7 degrees. I have no loose debris, dirt, or obstacles, and my ground is firm enough to land on. And then that is it. At that point, I have done it 2 minutes, 20 seconds.